The day I buried my wife, I thought I had already lost everything. I was wrong, because before the flowers on her grave had even begun to fade, my daughter-in-law looked me in the eyes and said, "It's time you moved into a cheap nursing home." I didn't argue. I quietly packed one small suitcase and climbed into my neighbor's old truck. But instead of taking me to the nursing home, he drove me to an abandoned warehouse. Then he whispered, "Keep this between us. Don't tell your son." When I opened that rusty metal door, I stood frozen. What I found inside changed the rest of my life forever. For 42 years, my wife Emma and I built a simple life together. We never became rich, but our home was full of laughter, birthday dinners, Christmas mornings, and memories that couldn't be bought. When cancer took Emma away, the silence inside our house became unbearable. Only 3 days after the funeral, my daughter-in-law Karen came over. She didn't ask how I was feeling. She didn't offer comfort. Instead, she placed several papers on the dining table. "I found an affordable nursing home," she said casually. "You can't live alone anymore." My son David sat beside her. He never looked at me. He simply nodded. At that moment, I realized something painful. The son I had raised wasn't making the decision anymore. Someone else was. I smiled weakly. "If that's what you think is best." Karen looked relieved. She probably expected an argument. Instead, I quietly packed a suitcase. The next morning, my neighbor Frank knocked on my door. He had lived across the street for over 20 years. Emma used to bake cookies for him every Christmas. "I heard what happened," he said. "I'll drive you." During the ride, something felt strange. We passed the road leading to the nursing home. "Frank, I know," he answered, "but trust me." 30 minutes later, we stopped outside an old abandoned warehouse on the edge of town. The building looked forgotten. Broken windows, rusted walls, weeds everywhere. Frank turned toward me. "Whatever happens inside, don't tell your son." I stared at him. "What is this place?" He smiled. "Go see." My hands shook as I pushed open the heavy metal door. The lights suddenly turned on. I couldn't believe my eyes. The warehouse wasn't abandoned at all. Inside stood dozens of volunteers, construction workers, electricians, carpenters, old neighbors, even people I barely recognized. Then I saw photographs, hundreds of them, pictures of Emma, pictures of me, pictures of our family throughout the years. My knees nearly gave out. What is this?" Frank walked beside me. "For the last 6 months," he said, "Emma knew she wasn't going to survive." My heart stopped. Before she passed away, she came to all of us. She asked us for one promise. "What promise?" "That if anyone ever tried to take away your home, we'd protect you." I couldn't speak. Frank handed me a folder. Inside were legal documents. Emma had secretly transferred the house into a family trust months before her death. No one could sell it. No one could force me out. Karen had no idea. Neither did David. Then Frank opened another envelope. Inside was a letter. Emma's handwriting. "My love, if you're reading this, I'm already gone. I know you'll blame yourself for crying. Please don't. I also know our son isn't the same man anymore. People change, but you don't have to lose everything because someone forgot what family means. These people standing around you are proof that kindness always comes back. Live in our home, plant flowers, drink coffee on the porch, and whenever you miss me, look at the sunrise. I'll be there." By then, tears were running down my face. Everyone inside the warehouse began applauding, not loudly, gently, like family. Weeks later, Karen arrived with moving boxes. She was shocked to learn she couldn't sell the house. The lawyer explained everything. She argued, threatened, even accused me of hiding assets. Nothing worked. For the first time, David finally spoke. He looked around the living room, at Emma's photographs, at the memories covering every wall. Then he looked at me. "I'm sorry, Dad. It wasn't a perfect apology. It didn't erase the pain, but it was honest." Months passed. Karen moved out. David started visiting every Sunday, not because he had to, because he wanted to. Together we repaired the old porch, planted Emma's favorite roses, and every morning, I carried 2 cups of coffee outside, one for me, one beside her empty chair, because love doesn't disappear when someone dies. It simply learns another way to stay. Sometimes life doesn't save us with money. Sometimes it saves us through people who quietly keep promises long after others forget them, and every sunrise reminds me. Emma kept hers. If this story touched your heart, remember one thing. The greatest inheritance parents leave behind isn't money. It's love, kindness, and the people whose lives they changed. If you believe parents deserve respect, no matter their age, leave it in the comments and share this story with someone who still has the chance to hug their mother or father today.